Hi, crafty friends. Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today, I am unboxing the Stamps of Life November Card Kit Club. If you're not already a member, you can join using my promo code MelissaM, and you will earn 500 extra bonus club points by using my code. You can also click the link down below in the description box that will take you to the sign-on page easily. Let's take a look at the Stamp and Die Hard Club first, because the Card Kit Club coordinates with the stamps and dies that are released at the beginning of the month. So if you're a member of the Stamp Club, these are the stamps, and I just showed the dies. And this month, the set is called All Bundled Up. So it's got these cute little critters and all these fun winter sentiments like have a chill day, warm wishes, moose you so much. It's just so cute. Let's start by looking at the paper pad that comes in the Card Kit Club. And this month, this is called the So Thoughtful collection. You can see here the words so thoughtful, so thoughtful, so thoughtful. And then you can use the dies, if you're a member of the Die Hard Club, to cut out this cut apart sheet. So you can just lay them over top of the image, and you can either choose the die to have the white on the border or without. So that's always nice. I love the bright colors, and this wood grain is my absolute favorite. I want a whole pad of that. Now, there's also an add-on set that you can purchase, and this is called the More All Bundled Up set. So it also has dies that coordinate and can use in the cut-apart sheet. So in this paper pad, there's 24 double-sided sheets. There's 12 designs and 2 of each of them. So it looks like we're starting back over at the beginning. All right, so you also receive this die that says So Thoughtful, and you can see here it's the same font that's in the paper. So you've got the inside die and the shadow die for So Thoughtful. And then we've received some gems here, some red and white gems. And then we have a sticker sheet. Now I am showing you the wrong stickers here, so close your eyes, don't look. I will show you the right ones in just a moment. So I have 2 sticker sheets that I show you the wrong ones, but don't worry, you will get the right ones in your kit. All right, so moving on to the rest of what's included in the kit, you receive this A1 grand side folded die set, and I love this so much. And you also receive the rest of the words so that you can make that sentiment on there. You are so thoughtful. So I really, really like that. And look, it's got like the snowflakes on it. This is just amazing. So you can see here they all coordinate together. You are so very thoughtful, I believe it says. All right, and then you also receive this nice storage envelope, so you can store your cardstock in here. You've got a package of envelopes, and let me count these. I never actually count these out. It looks like we have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so we have 12 envelopes. So these are A2 envelopes for you to send your cards out in, which is nice. And then this large storage envelope, like I said, you can put your cards and cardstock in there, or even larger dies. That's what I like to do. We received 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of the powdered sugar. Then you also have twig cardstock, green apple. Then we've got kiwi, cranberry, strawberry, these beautiful blues. We have Pacific, blueberry, and sea glass. So these are all 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So you can always check back and look at the pattern paper pad to see what the colors are. And these are the right stickers. They say, it's cold outside, but you warm my heart. Life is better with you by my side. I'm wild about you. So thankful for your friendship. You're the reason I smile today, and you mean the world to me. And then you get the cute little critters. All right, so the first thing I like to do when I receive my card kit is I like to go ahead and take the cut apart sheet, and I like to cut apart some of the images on one of the sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and use my dies here, and I'm going to cut apart just this one sheet so I've got some little images, some little critters to work with. So I'm using some of the dies, and then since there's 2 of this little fox, I guess he could be a raccoon too. I am going to use one of them. I'm going to use the outside die, or I guess you call it the shadow die, and then one the inside die. So I'm going to go ahead and put my better than washi tape on here to secure those down. Let me cut these apart because I am going to use my die cut machine that just fits right on my desk. So I've got the Platinum Scout. This is the rose quartz color. I love pink. And so anytime I can get something pink to match my craft room, I usually try to do that. And then I've also got the Magic Mat that I like to cut these on. So this is really easy to use, sets on my desk, and then it folds up. But some of my die cut machines, like, they're hard to turn the crank. And this one, it just turns so easily and it cuts like butter. It cuts better than my larger die cutting machine. So look at these images. They cut out very nicely, and that better than washi holds it in place just perfectly. I'm going to place the tape up here so that I have it to use another time. You can actually use that tape several times, just putting it aside. Now stay tuned because we're getting ready to make a card, and I have a fun technique to show you today. We are going to make the slide and lock gatefold. So I haven't made these in quite a while, and I was going through some of my cards and I found one the other day and I thought, oh my goodness, I don't even think I've ever made a video where I showed this technique. So stay tuned. Here's a look at the images that we just cut out. I'm going to set those aside. I also stamped and colored some using the stamp. So I'm going to put those in my little stack and sort tray as well. Now I'm going to pick out some pattern paper, and I colored this one and I really like those colors. And I'm bringing in the gatefold card die set. This is the A2 size, and I'm going to place it here on this twig cardstock. Now I am going to have to dig into my stash and get another piece of the twig cardstock because when you cut this, you do need 2 of them to make the gatefold card. So just keep that in mind. And then this little layering die, I'm using this red and white plaid, and I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to cut 2 of those panels for the front of this card. So we're going to make like a regular gatefold card, and then we're going to make a cool slide and lock mechanism to go over top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these card bases one inside the other. I messed with it for just a moment. I don't know why I was having such a difficult time, but I wanted it to line up just perfectly, and I promise you it does. I just, for some reason, did not get mine lined up, and so I keep picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down. But finally, I'm happy with how it is. I think I got the edges a little too close. Had I left it the way it was to begin with, then my mechanism would have worked a little better, I think, but oh well. So here we go. I've got my card base, and now I'm going to glue on the edges here. So let me go ahead and put this one on, and then I'll line up and put the other one on as well. And then we'll start making our mechanism. So for the mechanism, you're going to need 4 circles. Now it doesn't have to be circles. It could be rectangles. It could be actually any image that you want. But I went ahead and used the, I believe this is the stitch dot circle die. And I used the one that is 3.5 inches. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of them and you're going to fold them in half. So I've got 2 separate ones here, and I'm going to fold them in half, and then I'm going to leave 2 of them the way they are. This technique is so easy. Then I'm going to put glue on one of the sides of the halves and glue that down. So then see how it opens up at the top, and I'm going to repeat the same thing and on the same side and glue the other circle down so that the part that's opening faces the outside. All right, next what I'm going to do is those 2 pieces that are like sticking up, I'm going to glue a solid base to the top of that. This is harder to explain than I thought, but at least I'm showing you. I hope the visual image is better than the words that I'm coming up with. So you can see here, see how that kind of opens up now? So then what you can do is you can slide this down in your card, and it will lock your gatefold together. So you know how sometimes you can make a belly band for a gatefold card and that will hold it closed? Well, this is in place of the belly band. So I got mine a little tight so it doesn't slide down as well as I would like it to. So in that case, you just open up one of the flaps and stick it in there, and then open up the other flap and stick that in there. But it does slide up and down. So then the recipient can take this off. I mean, if they wanted, they could even use this on their own card, right? But why would you? But you could still save it. So now I need to glue my little, is this a reindeer? No, it's a moose. I'm going to glue my moose to the front. And to do that, I'm going to take a little bit of foam tape. And I'm just going to put one strip of foam tape down the center here. And I'm going to glue my moose onto my mechanism. Now, I do want to mention that when you glue this on here, you need to get it centered so that the slide and lock part is even, right? So I didn't pay attention to that the first time when I stuck this down. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do this again. Because I need to have it centered. So it'd probably be better to just go ahead and stick your circle onto your base and then stick it down. Or you could do like I'm doing and just kind of lift it up and make sure that you've got it in the center where the sides are open. So there we go. I've got both my sides, and you see how now I'm just kind of using the open piece, and that holds your card together. Isn't that the coolest thing? So like I said, you can do the same thing with squares, with a shape. I just find it easier with a circle, and you can use any size circle and then put your image on top. Now I'm going to put one of the stickers onto the card. Now don't look at the saying. I used the wrong one here. But if you want to use the brown one that comes in the kit, you would use the one that says, "You mean the world to me." So I just wanted to use the one that was brown, that twig color, so that it matched. So that is our first card. Super fun, super easy, and it's definitely a technique that I'm going to do lots more of. To finish this card off, I am going to dig through some of my embellishments, and I'm actually going to place some twig dots on the front. And then I use the stitch dot rectangle, and I'm going to place that on the inside. Now you could also, if you wanted to go as far as decorating the inside of your card, you could do that as well. I'm not going to do that on today's video, but there we go. I got it ready to send, and here's a couple of those twig embellishments, and I'm going to place those on here. So card number 1 is done. Let me know in the comments down below, have you ever made a slide and lock gatefold card? I would love to hear from you. All right, let's go ahead and start our next card. Now this one's going to be pretty easy, no fancy technique or anything. I cut one of the pieces of the powdered sugar, 8.5 by 11 pieces in half. So I have a card base, and now I've got a 4 1/4 by 5.5 piece of the pattern paper, and I'm just gonna glue that to the top here. So it doesn't have a border, just this real pretty paper. I love the plaid, both the red and the green. I'm obsessed. I think I need a whole pad of the wood grain and then also the plaids. And then I've got 2 other pieces of the card. I got a cardstock and a pattern paper. That blueberry cardstock is 3 by 4 1/4. And then the pattern paper there with all the little critters is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. Then I grabbed a couple snowflakes from my stash, and I cut those out using the sea glass paper. And I just put those in the corners. I'm gluing down my little piece on top, and then I'm going to add the little moose that came in the kit. So this is the one I die cut from the kit. I'm going to put a little foam tape on the back of this moose so that it has a little bit of dimension. And then I'll just need a sentiment. So let me go ahead and glue this down. So I've got a little dimension here on the moose. I think this moose is so cute, and that's why I made both of these cards today using the moose. But stay tuned to the end because I will show you some other cards that I have made off camera using this kit as well. So I've got my moose all centered up, and now I'm going to bring in the stamp set because I want to put a sentiment on here. I first looked through the stickers, but I didn't really think that they fit, especially with me adding that moose up on foam tape. They didn't go, and remember, I have the wrong ones that I'm showing you anyway. So, all right, so I've got the stamp set out, And this is the one that is the stamp of the month. It is called All Bundled Up. Now, if you're not a Stamp Club member or a Die Hard Club member, you can purchase these separately, but you're always guaranteed to be mailed them out at the beginning of the month if you're a club member. And I need one more person to sign up. So let me know down below if you are going to sign up or add an additional kit and you use my code. I would greatly appreciate one more person to sign up before the end of this month. Let me know and I might just send you something. All right, so I have picked out a sentiment, and the sentiment that I have picked out says, "Moose you so much." I mean, I'm using the moose. It's super cute. So I am going to have a little piece of white cardstock here. I've got a little bin that I've got a bunch of scraps in, so that's what I was looking for first. And now I'm using the Blueberry Stamps of Life ink. And I've got my secret weapon, the black foamy thing in the background here that I'm using. That is called a secret weapon, and that helps you get a really good crisp impression. Now, the first one, that didn't work out so crisp. Usually it does, but that's okay. I'm going to stamp it again. I just wanted a perfect one, and it was probably okay, but I want it perfect. So let me do it again. And it was probably because I had my secret weapon like angled. It wasn't all the way on my glass mat. Taking a baby wipe here and just wiping my stamp up. This blue ink is really juicy, so I want to make sure that I don't get that all over my desk. I'm going to place this back on the courier sheet, and now I am ready to place it on my card. So I am going to also put a little bit of foam tape on the moose itself to place that sentiment right over top. And I just trimmed it down with my scissors. Let me see which side I like. See, the sides, they were so similar that I didn't even know which side was the good side. All right, so I've got my sentiment on here. I'm just straightening it up. And there we go. Give it a little press. And then the last thing for this card is just to add a few little gems. And again, I'm digging in my stash, and I found these really bright blue ones. And I think these came in a previous card kit. So I love to do that. Use the dots that come in other card kits. So here's how I store those. I'm just going to put that in my drawer, and this is our second card. So here is that card, and now I'm going to show you a couple others that I have shared either on the Stamps of Life page, or I've added them to the gallery, or they will be coming soon. This one I used the Call Me Crafty Owl. I believe this was the November sheet load. I used her template there. And I used the Happy Holidays paper, and I thought that one turned out really cute, and I added that little fox to the bottom. And then this one you'll be seeing on the Stamps of Life YouTube channel. And then I've got one more that'll also be featured on the channel. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.